Hey, it's Janet, the plant-powered peddler.
And Jennifer Diamond, thank you so much for tuning in to watch us do some more cooking together. Yeah, so tonight we're going to be doing a few different things. We're going to be doing some carrot cake bites.
Yeah,
and
rainbow
then
slaw.
and I'm going to do a sweet winter squash slaw. So we'll have two different slaws, and if we have time, I might try to see if I could squeeze in a cream of spinach soup. I tried to do a little extra prepping this time so I don't fall too far behind. And so we have shredded carrots. We have some rolled oats. And I'm going to have to grab a frozen banana out of the freezer. You want to finish saying what the seasonings are?
Yeah, but I gotta grab mine too. So the seasonings are cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, and then you can use chia or hemp seeds to roll the balls in.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, well, I've got mine here, the seasonings that you just talked about, which are the ginger, turmeric, and cinnamon, not fresh, although I could have. But what I'm going to do that's a little different is I'm going to add a couple of dates that I've had soaking in just a little bit of water, just to add a tiny bit of sweetness. And I don't know, Janet, what you're planning on rolling yours, if anything, but I am going to use the hemp seeds at the end.
What did you add, dates?
Yeah, I'm going to put some dates in, and I was wondering what, if anything, if you were going to roll it in anything, because I am going to use the hemp seeds. Yo, you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead, and what we basically do is put everything in the food processor and just mix it gently, because we don't want to make anything, you know, real mixed up. I mean, you just want to mix it up. You don't want it to get crazy.
I want to mix mine because I've got fresh herbs.
Well, you might want to do that. Yeah. Are you going to do that ahead of time or no? Looks like you're.
I'm just gonna process it all. I'm just gonna see. If it doesn't work out, I can make another batch. And Steve
Okay.
and I'll eat these.
Well, I'm putting in the little bit of water that I had with the dates because I figured there'd probably be some moisture already coming from the banana, and I don't think that'll be a big deal. That's not really in the original recipe. And then just some of those goodies.
That's kind of a good idea. I wonder if I should do that. I just made some date paste. How much are you putting in?
I just used 2 dates, and I just had them in the freezer, so I like softened them with a little water, and I'm just going to put them in here and just to add a little extra sweetness besides the banana. But you know, you don't have to, or you can. And I'm plugging in here, and I'm just going to move these guys out of the way. And here we go. So I think I'm gonna pulse it.
Still frozen. I should give it a minute to thaw.
What's frozen?
My banana. I just pulled it out just now.
Oh, well, me too. I'm gonna pulse. I'm gonna just pulse it. What are you gonna do?
Well, go ahead. Let me know what happens. This is a half tablespoon, so I'm doing 2 tablespoons of date paste.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's take a peek. Let me unplug it. I always like to unplug. Safety first.
It won't run without it being together.
Yeah, but I still get, you know. So look at that.
Yeah, it looks good. Okay, here I go.
Yeah. So let me just get a spatula here. And this is more like a little, you know, dessert. It's simple to pull together. And
yeah, I've got a potluck on Wednesday, so I'm making this stuff for the potluck.
And so we're just supposed to make little balls with it. You know what? I think I'm going to use my little ball scooper to kind of get the size kind of equal.
Good idea. I'll use my ice cream scooper.
Yeah, I've got 2 different sizes here. Which one do you think we should use? The bigger one or the littler one?
I think the littler one.
Littler
It's supposed to make 12. I guess you'll find out once you make them.
And I'm not going to really make it into a ball. I'm just going to kind of use the scooper to make the shape. So it is flat on one side where I'm, you know, scooping it out. And I just have a little tray here. Could use any tray or whatever. This is nothing fancy, but it's like a serving tray, and I'm gonna stick it in the freezer.
Yeah, something you can put in the freezer is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, these are cute looking.
Yeah, you
That's-
roll in the balls, roll balls in hemp seeds or chia seeds.
Do you know what? I'm gonna do a little different. I'm just gonna take them once they're done, and I'm just gonna push the chia seeds just on the top. I'm not gonna roll the whole thing. I think that's pretty.
I got both hemp and chia.
That sounds good. So I don't know if anybody has any other suggestions, but I'll tell you, my husband, I was talking to him, telling he's not, he's at work right now, but I was telling him about this, and I said, I'm thinking, like, what could I put on top of this? Like a little squirt of date paste or something if somebody wanted to jazz it up. And he came up with a really good idea. Now I don't have a recipe for it, but he was saying if there's a way to do if you wanted to make it like really desserty, you could make some kind of like a whole food plant-based frosting that we use sometimes and just kind of pipe a little bit on top. And I was going to look into that, but I didn't. You can make this as plain or as, fancy or sweetened up as you want. Yours are looking really good, Janet. They look a lot bigger than mine.
Really?
Yeah, but I like adding the.
Yeah, I mean, there's 6 already, and I still got a whole bunch of batter. So.
Yeah, and you don't have to cook them or anything. We're just going to put them in the freezer, and then whenever you're ready, if you're ready to serve them, it just wants you to take them out of the freezer about 15 minutes or so before serving. And I mean. Great, simple, and cute. These are cute looking.
They're adorable.
I have 12 now, and I still have more, so I'm going to keep going here.
And then I'm just going to sprinkle hemp and chia on top.
I'm going to kind of move mine because I need more space here. Whoa. So with the smaller one, it's making me a lot more, which I think is good. If I ever decide to take this to a potluck.
Look, Jennifer.
Ooh, pretty. I'm almost done. I'm going to show you mine up close in just a minute. I have like a couple more here.
How many you ended up with?
Maybe 20 or 21, but they're the little one, the little scooper that you suggested. But I actually like having the little one because I think for a potluck, it's a better size.
Yeah,
you can use any size. There's no right or wrong, right?
But I think that's better to have little ones for the potluck because people are getting a lot of different things. But this is the only size I've got, so it will do. And I've got 15. That looks awesome.
So I'm gonna put it in the freezer, but I'm thinking about maybe putting a little design with date paste. What do you think, now or after it's frozen?
I mean, if you put it now, it'll set it in, although it might dry it out a little.
I'm going to go grab it and just let's play around. I'll do half ahead of time and half later.
Oh, good idea. Why choose?
Yeah, so this is what I'll just use. I've got this lady, the Date Ladies date syrup. And I mean, this is just me making this up. I could do a squiggle or I could do a polka dot. I don't know. Let's just play.
I'm going to try to transfer these 4 into a smaller dish.
Okay, well, I tried to do some squiggles and then I tried to do little dots, but the dots are running, so that didn't work out, but that's what the squiggles look like.
Oh.
Okay, so we just finished making carrot cake bites, and that was with shredded carrots, some rolled oats, a ripe frozen banana, and then the seasonings I did was the cinnamon, turmeric, and ginger. I did mine ground. Janet did hers fresh. And then I put some hemp seeds on the top of mine. She put chia. And then I got fancy and I just decided to use the Date Lady date syrup and just squiggle on half of them. and we're putting them in the freezer. She did bigger ones, so she's got like nice bite size, and I did smaller ones, so I've got a little more. Okay, so we'll do the slaws. Are you going to do your slaw, or are you going to do my slaw?
Go ahead and do your slaw.
Yeah, so I'm doing a sweet winter squash slaw. So I'm going to just be putting some of this already processed stuff back in the food, I think. Let me just make sure here. Okay, so what I have is I have butternut squash, which if you're not familiar with butternut squash, you know, they're usually like kind of like this. This is a smaller one, and I'm cutting the recipe in half because I think I'm probably going to be the only one eating it. So I cut this in half, and I just put all the seeds in here. I will dry out the seeds and eat those on salads or different things. But the other half, I peeled the skin with a potato peeler, and then here it is. And I just shredded it really finely with a food processor shredder. And then I'm also going to be doing kale, a bunch of kale. This is just the curly kale. It's washed and chopped up. And then I've got some fresh ginger in here that I also shredded. And I shredded this with the, the hand grater. So I just took real fresh ginger and a spoon. I can pull it out if anyone wants to see. And I just scraped down the skin and then shredded it. And there it is. And then this is some cilantro. The only other thing that I need that I haven't taken care of yet is, I'm going to be brave. You don't have to add this, but these are hazelnuts. And I'm going to go ahead and stick them in my Breville just for a few minutes. And I'm going to try some hazelnuts. What do you think? Do you guys, I mean, I know a lot of us don't really eat a lot of nuts, but lately I've been eating some seeds and nuts.
Yeah, me too. Well, no, I'm not eating nuts, but I'm eating more starch and grain and bean because I just keep waking up in the middle of the night and I'm so hungry and my body is so active, it restless, I can't sleep. So, and then I just get up and like AJ says, I just eat a meal. I just eat veggies and a starch, but I'd rather eat it during the day and sleep through the night.
So I'm just putting in all the chopped kale in here. I think I'm going to just massage it a little bit. And then I'm going to just basically add everything else. And then I'm going to take a fresh lime and add that in. I'm going to use this guy right here. So now, Janet, while I'm massaging my kale, tell me about your slaw.
Well, mine's the rainbow slaw from the vault, the food vault, and Mahari Elizabeth. It was created by who I don't know who that is, but I thought, well, slaw is always easy to take to a potluck. And one nice thing about these, they don't have to be warmed because I have to drive all the way down to Gig Harbor, which is at least a 40-minute drive. So I'm just chopping up my dill here, which I probably have way too much, but anyways, it's a small red cabbage. It's a quarter of a red cabbage, and we can give you the measurements because you can all see the recipe. And then a medium carrot that I grated, and half of a fennel bulb, which I love. So that sold me when I saw that. And 4 to 5 sprigs of fresh dill. So I got some fresh dill, and I was seeing on the internet where you can freeze it. So the rest of it I chopped up and froze. And I'm looking forward to that because I can't get through all my dill. And so this way I could pull it out, and she says it's just as good as when it's fresh. And then I've got some yellow peppers, yellow, red, and orange. It calls for a half of a red and a half of a yellow, and I had the little peppers, so I just did a bunch of them. and then 5 or 6 pink radish, and I just had the red radish. So I'm tossing that in.
Now that looks good.
Yeah. And then I just do lime and apple cider vinegar, Jennifer. And then mix it, and that's my salad.
Okay, well, I've got my kale. I massaged it a little bit. I'm going to add the ginger and the cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you could use parsley or whatever you'd like. And then here is the superstar, the raw butternut squash, which I thought was going to be really interesting. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some lime to it. And my recipe came from Chef Bravo's book. Let me see. This one right here, Bravo Express. And it's on page 47. And I've never made this one, so I thought it would be fun to try it a little bit different than the one that Janet's doing, just to show variation.
This calls for half a lime and a teaspoon of vinegar, and I put in a whole lime and a tablespoon of vinegar because there's a lot of veggies there.
It's weird. One side of my lime didn't really juice, and the other one's loaded, and I just cut it in half.
Wow, that's strange, huh?
Yeah, maybe it's my angle.
I wonder about adding something sweet to this, like some mango.
Oh, yeah, mango. I love mango in salad, any kind of salad or slaw. That's a great idea.
I got this huge one at the Indian store, but it's not quite, or at the Asian store, but it's almost ready, but not quite. But I've got some.
If I had fresh grapes, I might even add grapes to mine.
Let me find my mangoes. They were underneath me.
Uh-oh, hiding on you?
Yeah.
And so with the hazelnuts, I'm gonna just leave them in there for another minute or so. And I kind of pre-crushed them a little bit ahead of time. And then I'm just gonna add it in here. That's it. So I feel like there's something missing, a color. Like I want a red or something in here. But
Yeah.
I don't know if tomato would, what do you think? Tomato, would that be the flavor be okay?
I don't see why not.
It's the only thing red I really have right now are some cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, that would be really good.
I was also, I think instead I would do raisins, but what about even like apple?
Absolutely.
Well, I know these are done because I could start smelling them, and I thought maybe they were burning, but they're not. So I'm going to go ahead and pour them right in. And I think I am going to cut just a couple little cherry tomatoes.
Jean suggested red bell pepper too.
Ooh. God, I don't have any of that right now, but yes, that would be good. I think I'll do this, and maybe I'll do the raisins and apple just a little bit. I don't know. Can't go wrong, right? Wow, look, see? I've just put in two little tiny cherry tomatoes, and it just brightened the whole thing up like in a second.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I have?
What do you have?
Raspberries.
Ooh.
I don't know if that would hold up as well. What do you think?
Oh.
These flavors.
How long do they need to last till?
I mean, I don't know till we eat it, but I'm wondering if the flavors would mix. Okay, here's my little apple sprinkles. Okay, well, I'm gonna just toss this and call it done.
I put mango in it, and I think I'm gonna put a little kiwi in it too.
Okay, and just for fun, because I don't know why I'm going crazy, I'm adding some raisins. All right, so the original recipe was the butternut squash, kale, ginger, lime juice, cilantro, and toasted hazelnuts. And then I added a little bit of tomato, apple, and raisins. So hopefully that'll taste good.
I might add some raisin also. Just like you say, it just adds a little bit of sweetness.
Yeah, and not a lot, you know. I mean, totally love like fresh grapes in it, but here I haven't even tasted it yet.
I know, I was just thinking, gee, I should taste it first.
Yeah, maybe we should just taste it. I like to taste it
Yeah.
all together at the end, but tell me when you're ready and we could taste together.
Okay, I'm just chopping up this kiwi real quick.
Okay, so while you're doing that, I do have one more recipe that I was going to do,
Oh, yeah.
which is a cream of spinach soup. And it seems really simple, out of the same cookbook, the Bravo Express, page 27. And I have everything ready to go. So let me show you.
You know, I got looking in his book, Jennifer, after you told me about this one, and there's a lot of recipes in there that I'd like to make.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of good stuff. Now on their program, they do nuts and seeds. So if you
Yeah,
don't,
but we can leave those out.
you could leave it out or sub it with some beans,
Sure.
depending on what it is. So this one is shallots. I didn't have any shallots. I was trying to use what I have. So I just am using some purple onion and then some fresh garlic ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and heat up my pan and just saute this a little bit. And there's like not very many steps. So I'll just let that heat up for a minute. Well, I should cover it then. Let that heat up. And then I have vegetable broth. I do have plenty of homemade vegetable broth, but I didn't take it out of the freezer. So this time I'm grabbing one of these organic, bona fide, no salt added veggie broths. And you're ready. So let me grab my salad. Okay.
I just want to see if I need to add anything.
Okay, I want to get like a little droplet of everything. Ready?
Uh-huh. Boy, that's pretty good.
Oh my God. I didn't know I liked a hazelnut. Wow.
Jeannie says her hubby loves dried cranberries in his salad. You know, it's hard for me to get dried cranberries that don't have other contaminants in them. Yeah.
Well, I'm really a fan. And you know, I know a lot of people don't really do a lot of nuts, but even if you just did like just a couple, it really changes the profile, just having these hazelnuts. And they are really high in fat and they're saturated fat. So it's not something I would do often, but just for fun, pretty nice treat. No, this is good. This is really good. And yours looks good too, because you're just chomping.
I'm like, I don't need to put raisins in this. It's really good, just the way it is.
This is probably hot now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the fire down and add this here for a couple of minutes.
That is really good. Refreshing.
Yeah, refreshing. That's a perfect word.
Isn't that beautiful?
Wow, look at how beautiful yours is.
I really like that. Okay, I'm ready for the potluck. Come on Wednesday.
Yay. Yeah, it doesn't have to be difficult. You can make some beautiful dishes very simply, and you can pack them in small quantities so that you can share at potlucks and things like that. And I love that we didn't even have to cook our carrot bites.
That's so cool. We'll see how they taste when you're done with the soup.
Okay, so I just have to add a couple things and literally cook for 5 minutes and it's done. So I'm just browning up a little bit here, the shallot, or well, supposed to be shallot, my purple onion and garlic. And the other thing that it wants me to add, I started telling you, is the vegetable broth. So like I said, I have a lot of homemade vegetable broth in the freezer, but I didn't take it out to thaw. So I'm going to just add all of this plus 2 cups of water. You can use the whole thing vegetable broth. This is going to be like 6 cups total. And I just really like the convenience sometimes of having a store-bought one and knowing that there's nothing in it. There's no salt, there's no oils. It's just all organic ingredients and filtered water and black peppercorns and garlic, fennel, tomato, and everything is organic. So anyhow, and then I'm going to add, what else do I add to that? I am going to add a small amount of cashew nuts. So I'm eating nuts today, but if you didn't want the nuts, I would say put in some white beans of some sort. And I think it's just to give it the creaminess of the spinach, cream of spinach soup. And so if you don't want the nuts, you can just put in some beans. And I think that would be great. And it just says bring to a simmer for 5 minutes. And then once that's done, I'm going to add in the spinach blend. I mean, how simple, right? I'm going to take a little bit of the spinach, do it like the picture and just kind of shred it. Just to have a little on top afterwards.
How you doing, Jennifer?
I'm doing good. Let's see, what did I do earlier today? I haven't drained these yet, but I made some garbanzo beans in the Instant Pot, just ready for either a hummus or I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. I'm going to go ahead and just add the spinach in here and let it just sit for a minute. And then I'm going to take the emulsify blender and blend it up, and then we can plate everything. It's that simple.
Sounds good.
Oh my goodness. It was a little hot, but not too hot. I don't know if you could see in there.
Just looks like a bunch of spinach.
Yep, and there's onion and the liquid and the cashew nuts, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in and just blend that up. It actually says to do it in a Vitamix, but I'm not going to transfer this into a Vitamix. I'm just going to do it right here, and let's see how thick it gets with the nuts in it. I kind of feel like I should have done part of it with the beans, so we could have tested that, but oh well. All right, so.
Next time. Those immersion blenders are worth their weight. I just love mine. Yeah, that's really brothy.
Yeah, it had me add a lot of liquid.
Yeah.
I think it's too much liquid.
Well, it's a soup. You'll have to taste it and see what the flavor is.
See, and then that's the thing with this. It gets kind of caught in there. I just want to pull that off.
It's no problem.
Yeah.
I just usually tap it on the side of the dish and it just falls out.
Oh, well.
But I take the bottom off from the motor and then tap it.
Yeah. I wonder how else I could make it thicker. Seems.
Well, maybe it's not supposed to be thick. Taste it and see what the flavor is.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I'm going to just do it like this. So I'm going to plate everything.
All right.
And I'm going to do a ladle.
So I'll pull my things out of the freezer.
Yep, I'm going to do some of the soup. The soup. Let's just set that right there. And then I had some of this shredded on the side because I thought I would just put it in there, but it's still kind of chunky, so I don't feel like I need that.
I've still got my lunch because
Okay, I'm gonna just plate some of this, even though we. All right, here goes the soup. Let's try the soup.
What do you think?
The flavor is good, but it's still very crunchy.
Oh.
I think I would cook it longer. But the
It's
flavor is
crunchy.
nice. Well, you know, it originally said I should put shallots in, and I put in red onion, but I chopped it very fine. So maybe
Yeah.
it needed a little more, but I do like it. But I was expecting it to be a thicker soup. And it seems, well, here you can see it's runny and it's, you know,
It's a
it's not
stew.
blended fully. So,
Yeah. We get so used to making stews.
yeah. And then, of course, we tried the salad already, but we'll do it again.
I'm gonna go ahead and save mine for the potluck, but I'm eating my steamed vegetables.
This is really good.
It looks wonderful.
Let's get our stuff out of the freezer. Oh, you already did? Okay, let me grab mine.
Okay.
I was going to try one after frozen this way.
Oh, wow. They get really hard.
Let's just try it, and we have a few. Okay, so I'll go with this one. Did you do it?
Not yet.
Mmm.
Boy, it tastes really good with the fresh ginger. Yum, yum.
It really tastes a lot banana. I taste a heavy banana.
Really. I don't.
Mmm.
Very different.
Uh-huh.
Tastes really good with fresh ginger, Jennifer.
Okay, I'll have to try that.
Can you taste much ginger with the powdered stuff?
No.
Boy,
And
I'm really
I
glad
have
I
plenty
tried
of
it.
it here.
What are we eating?
Oh, now that I've finished, I do taste the ginger, but I didn't taste it in every bite. But
Mhm.
now, like the finish, I taste that zing. Good.
Mhm.
I do think I'm going to put this on, even though I already added the spinach. And I just want to cook the onion down just a little bit more. But I do like it. I would make this again.
Hmm. Do you think if you sauteed the onion?
I did.
Did.
I did this onion and garlic,
Uh-huh.
or yeah, and then I added the liquid. I feel like it's too much liquid. I would cut back on the liquid. And
You still
yeah, or maybe, you know, maybe add some beans or something to, I just, let me look at the picture again.
yeah.
Because why do I think it's supposed to be thick? Because it
Oh.
looks thick.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it looks yellower. Where do you suppose that's from?
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I followed the instructions, and mine doesn't look anything like this one. So, you know, but that's good. That's how we know.
Huh.
I wish I could have everybody taste it so we could hear everybody's opinion, right? That would be good. Well, thanks so much, everybody. It's been really fun. Janet and I appreciate you guys checking out the recipes that we make. And if you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We both would love to see you on both of our channels. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
So we just finished our recording together, and I just couldn't let it go. So I just cooked this a little bit more, and I added some more spinach into the Vitamix, and I'm gonna see if cooking it and adding it in the Vitamix instead of using the hand blender makes a difference, because the original instructions said to add it to a Vitamix blender. So let's try it. Fingers crossed. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. Okay. Ooh. Look at that now. Okay. So let's go ahead add that to the bowl. Whoa. Well, there is definitely a difference between using the hand blender and using the Vitamix. Look at that. Now let's go for the taste. Oh yes, much better. Okay, I'm so glad I didn't give up, and I'm glad that I just popped on here to show you that even when you think you followed the directions, maybe you didn't. Don't give up, just, revisit it and see what you could do. Be curious about it, and you might come away with some great ideas for some delicious food.